Good Wednesday afternoon to you. As I record this, it is Wednesday afternoon. In fact, I was about to say a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, but the wind is blowing 41 miles per hour, sustained winds. I've seen a gust of about 53 so far, and as I'm sitting in my office, I can hear the church building shaking a little bit and making all kinds of fun, creepy noises. And so thankful it is not the middle of the night, but during the day when there's plenty of daylight and it doesn't scare me so badly. It's been a couple of months since I really did one of these. I think the end of November was the last time tackled one of these after the sermon. So it's time to do that again and get started with those again here in the new year. This past Sunday, we were in the Gospel of Matthew as we are going through the Sermon on the Mount as preached by Jesus. And we were in verses 27 through 30 of chapter 5. And of course, in this section, Jesus is talking about the sin of lust. And that is not a fun subject to talk about. It's not a fun subject to preach about. And it was awkward for me. It was awkward for those that were sitting and listening to the sermon on Sunday as well. But it is a very important topic for us to talk about. Notice what Jesus says here. You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Jesus is trying to get across in this section that we are to be different. We are to be different than the world. We are to think differently than the world does. Satan has taken a beautiful thing that God has blessed us as humans with, and that is a sexual relationship that is to take place between a man and a woman that are husband and wife. But he has corrupted it. He has twisted it. He has made it into a very evil thing. And I gave some very scary stats Sunday about pornography and how many websites there are devoted to pornography and how many people view pornography on a regular basis, and even the ages that have access to pornography and have seen it. And that's our children. That's our children that are being affected by this. But notice Jesus says it's not just the act. It's not just the physical act, but it's even the mind. It's the heart that plays a part in this. It first starts in the heart and in the mind. And when we do those things, Jesus says that is committing adultery. And even in verse 29 and verse 30, he says that that's enough to be thrown into hell. And he even advises, do what it takes to protect yourself from that. If that means taking out your eye, if that means cutting off your hand, I do not think that Jesus was being literal here, but what he was being was spiritual. Do what it takes to protect yourself. One of the stats that was scary was that over 80% of porn is viewed on phones. I had one person come up to me and tell me that they don't use their phone for anything else but talking to somebody and texting somebody. They don't view movies. They don't do Facebook. They don't do anything on their phone but what phones were originally for. Talk to somebody or to text. Kind of makes me wonder if more should maybe go to that as well. I say that as I'm literally holding my phone, recording this. Do what it takes to protect yourself and your family. And be aware of what is going on. This is an epidemic far more dangerous than COVID. Have a blessed rest of your day. If you have to be outside, put some rocks in your pocket so you don't fly away. Remember, God loves you, so do I, and I hope to be doing these a little more regular now. God bless. Love you. Bye.